start. You keep up.
So I just like thank you so much, Joe, for making contact. It was brilliant to make contact with you guys.
It's all about, right?
And you're all so welcome to be here. I think we've three very distinct gardens here, and we're all kind of involved in a little bit of all of them. So for us, it's the edible landscape project, and I was hoping to talk a bit to you about that, because I teach horticulture in the local college. I teach level 6, and they'll be doing a lot of work in that garden now. They're starting next week, so that's one aspect. The second aspect, Gemma, is yours, which is
the Westport Community Garden. We changed the name of it recently from the Quay because we want to make it more inclusive, and we've had people from the Quay. Some people from Westport, but only people from the Quay could be in it. And we've got a great group going now, including Simon and Ashley, going, and we meet twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, and some group also come on a Sunday, ones with kids and things like that. But we're very much organic biodiversity, and anything other than that will go.
So that's your philosophy.
Yeah, it's biodiverse, no weed killers, just do it, and it works. And like, well, we're really lucky here that we've got seaweed, because that's such an excellent manure. And really, if we could get across to people that they don't have to buy fertilizer. I'm seemingly when fertilizer went up last year, or was it this year, that people realised they've got the same yield or better yield not using as much fertiliser. And really the fertiliser is the problem with the rivers, isn't it? Going in. So if you can just work on the fertiliser, not about the cows, just the fertiliser, we should be doing fine here. We could easily get our emissions down. So if something could be done about that with this group here, it'd be wonderful.
So I suppose what we're thinking, could we do a little bit on each, like we introduce ourselves and do a little bit on each, if we could introduce each part separately and go through it a bit more, would that work for you guys?
Great, yeah.
What time do you got to be out of here at?
Probably late 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have you out before then.
We're an hour and a half late.
But that's fine. An hour and a half.
Over on foot.
Yeah, no, we'll be...
Where are you headed to after this? Kind of halfway to Lewisburg.
Yeah, Mulla in Mulla before Lewisburg.
Nicola. I came up from Westport.
Oh God, wrong way.
It's down from Donegal.
Yeah.
And you guys are from Antrim, Dublin. Are you Kildare? Or you
Yeah, I'd be Kildare, Wicklow. With Sim.
Are you from Lantern
I used to work in there.
These are all Cathriona from Wildlands.
Yeah.
Cherrytree.
You've been there 40 years ago. I wasn't.
There's a lot of dubs in our group here. Some more dubs than extra.
A lot of blow-ins,
Years ago.
not just us. Check everything.
Has it gone down? Since you managed the whole area here, 10 acres, it was a landfill site. It is a landfill site, and it's just been left ignored. They say every old washing machine in town went under there at one point, and it's been, I don't know, many years since it was used, and this has just grown up of its own accord. Quite a lot of rubbish gets dumped in there. And, sorry.
We go this way, that's okay.
Landfill, it is a landfill site, and it was stopped being filled, I'm not sure exactly, 15 years maybe ago. And all of this has just grown up purely naturally. Nothing has been done here at all. A lot of rubbish has been dumped in, so we've taken it on alongside the community garden as a bit of a project to try and make it, to clean it up, to maintain it and to enhance it for biodiversity. We're at very, very early stages of the process. We've had a survey done, just completed last week, and from that we're going to be looking for what to do. And I imagine, with no plans have been drawn yet, but I imagine it'll be some ponds to encourage various different habitats, to get rid of some of the invasive species. We've got an awful lot of willow. There's sea buckthorn coming in. There's some unpleasant sedges. Sorry?
Alba.
By?
The clematis.
Clematis vertalba, but that's a questionable one.
more or less what I'm
Is this still owned by the council?
It's all owned by the council.
And have you an arrangement for 5 years, 10 years?
We have we have a
very
verbal
You're just here.
agreement to. They have no plans for it.
We just contact.
It cannot be built on because it's 30 feet deep in unstable. So yeah, no, there's no formal thing. But I'm hoping that once we have enhanced it a bit, made it a feature, made it a nature reserve, whatever you call it, community woodland, increased the value of it, then they'll have a very hard time trying to take it back.
The other thing as well that's the community centre there. It's closed off to the community at the moment. It's been used as I think Ukrainian families are staying there overnight, so it's not being used, but it will revert back to a community centre. So it makes sense to have the edible landscape project, the community garden. So it's a community spot. So it works really well.
The area over there is the bonfire spot. That's a traditional. Every St. John's night, every Halloween, there's a bonfire over there. So it is a community spot already.
Yeah.
We have these.
That's for the whole of Westport.
For the whole of Westport. Although it's generally the key people that come to those events. We've built these compost heaps right by the gate there because people were coming in and just dumping stuff here, there, everywhere. So we're encouraging the green leafy stuff here, the old woody stuff over there, which has now been built into the equivalent of dead hedge, is what the phrase is these days. Big, massive wood pile anyway, over there. And people are keeping to that at the moment. We have very little. The only people actually dumping at the moment are subcontractors for the council. But that's only grass and leaves, but it means they just dump it, we have to move it. And
It's like cans and bottles.
no cans and bottles, really. A few vapes. We have a good few youngsters come and use the place for shelter, and they're welcome to, but they do the odd bit of damage. They leave these little plastic vapey things around.
Ban them.
They should be banned,
This is
absolutely.
bad, yeah.
But we have very little damage now.
Kids are addicted to them, apparently.
That's desperate. And all these little young kids that have never smoked, and they're smoking those.
And they're all flavoured and all that sort of thing.
Flavoured, yeah.
Thousands of flavours.
Probably made in China.
You call them? Soothers, they are. They are. Like we used to use cigarettes as soothers.
What would you think of Mary setting up a spot like you did with the pallets for the landscapers and just say to them, okay, we want only grass in this, only whatever, and say to them, you can leave it there, but don't just dump it anywhere. Put it in here, and we're happy with that.
That's the.
Because you could get it at
That's the
for
position
compost.
we've taken, but we haven't gone out and told people that.
Because in a way, okay, you've got you've got nutrient backup here in the soil, but you really do need to bring organics in all the time.
Oh, absolutely. These two heaps have grown just this summer from people bringing things here.
But we also have a scheme where the council gives us all the leaves in Westport.
Yeah.
And Ollie, you've been involved in turning them.
Yep.
And basically you have them for 2 years. You're supposed to turn them twice or 3 times over the 2 years. And then we're developing comfrey beds as well. And by mixing, it is laborious, but it does work. You sieve the leaves, and then you put a layer of leaves, a layer of comfrey, thorn, and a layer of and with that done, with 4 barrels of that there. So now we don't, and that makes your potting compost. So we don't have to buy any potting compost anymore.
Does anybody else use that method?
And our aim would be that the whole town eventually would have enough compost that we would have compost to give it and bring their bag and sell it for €1 a bag. Just because I think if you charge someone, they appreciate it a bit. But that we wouldn't have to have any compost. But everyone could do that. It is work. So you have to develop the comfrey plus that. The only disadvantage to it is that it doesn't get hot enough, so there can be little seedlings in it. So if you're using it as potting compost, sometimes there's other seeds growing, not the ones, the weeds, the weed types seeds will germinate quicker perhaps than the others. But everyone could do that, and I can send you that, email it to someone.
Are you
used to, yeah.
Joe's a lecturer in organic horticulture, so if you need any advice.
But we were told, no, we were told about this that we were here to pick your brains.
Yes.
So it's a sharing thing rather than
Oh,
one
absolutely.
thing.
And look, it's the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to make contact with each other going forward.
Yeah.
I think that's because you'd never cover everything in.
Of course
In
you
1
would.
hour.
And you forget
Yeah, yeah.
things too.
Oh, yeah,
So many things, yeah.
We just go through the stuff very quickly. Can I just, because I teach horticulture as well, and I am so delighted. We have a college here